Okay, hi everyone. So this video is just going to show you how to access your course materials and briefly review the syllabus. Okay, so go ahead and just give me 1 second. All right, so hopefully you can see all this. I'm still trying to work out how to use this software. But anyways, so this is probably how your homepage looks like. Okay, but we're going to go back. Oops, what did I do? Go back over here. Okay. Okay, so this is how your homepage looks like. So you'll see, just a brief outline of the course. Okay, so obviously here's my information. Since it's an online course, I teach at other campuses, so I don't really have office hours at Menifee or Temecula campus. So you will have to contact me online since it's an online course. So just shoot me an email. If you really do need a little bit more one-on-one and you're really confused for some reason, then we can schedule a phone conference. So just go ahead and let me know. Obviously, email me here at this email address if you're a Met San Jacinto student. If you're not a Met San Jacinto student, then you will email me at this one, which is my RCC email. Okay. All right. So going back to the course description, so you're taking Introduction to Psychology, so you'll be trying to understand how behavior works and the mental processes that come along with that. Particularly with psychology, you come to find that there's a lot of theories that we will discuss throughout the course, and these theories are important to psychology because it really tries to conceptualize how we understand human behavior and mental processes. So some big theories you may have heard of are by Freud. Those are kind of in the beginnings of psychology, but you'll come to find there's a lot of other theories as well, more contemporary theories. So for example, Erikson, behaviorism with John Watson, so we'll discover all those different types of things as well. So you're probably wondering what the required text is. So the required text for this course is an OpenStax textbook, which basically this is an online free web source. So we'll go ahead and take you here so you can go ahead and look at it real quick. Oops, didn't work. Well, that link didn't work, that's okay. So what you can do if that link doesn't work, go to OpenStax and then type in psychology in your web browser. And then this is the first link right there. Okay, so you can download a PDF version. There's also an app. You can just view it on your computer as well. So the way to access the different readings is to go to table of contents. So obviously for your first chapters, you'll be doing these two. Okay, so let's say we wanted to read that. We'll go to introduction real quick. Click on that. Okay, so it gives you an overview of what chapter 1's about. Okay, and the rest of the course. So you go ahead and click next like a regular ebook, and then you'll start getting to chapter 1. Okay, what is psychology? Okay, so that's your required textbook, so you don't have to pay for it. I know if you do like a physical copy, if you like that, you can go to the campus bookstore, and they should have physical copies there. The only thing with the physical copy is that you will need to pay for it. It is low cost. I'm not sure what they're charging as of right now, but it is low cost. So you can also have the online source and then a physical copy in your hands. All right. So as far as the course design, it's actually in modules. So once you familiarize yourself with the course, you'll see modules. I'm going to go ahead and change the home page to that later on. This is just the introductory page when we first start class, so you can get all the information that you need. But then once we've been in the course a couple days, then I'll change the home page to modules. Okay, so the modules are set up into 1 or more chapters, and I'll go ahead and show you that. So here We have the announcements, syllabus, instructor information, so if you need more information about me, and then the modules, okay? So the modules, go ahead and click on that. All right, so this is where you're going to be doing all of your work, okay? And this is what I was talking about before, as far as how the modules look like. They're 1 to 2 chapters. So as of right now, you only have the first chapter that's showing up, because that's what we're going to be working on this week, okay? As we get towards the end of the week, then you'll see the new module come up, okay? So let me go ahead and show you really quick all of the modules. So you'll see this is all the modules. We have 1 module, 2 modules, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is the final module. So since this is an 8-week course for Math and Jacinto students, you will see 8 modules in total throughout the course. So let's go back to the home page. Oops, trying to home page. Hello. Here we go. All right. So this is where you can get announcements. This will be announcements that I send out to you guys. So let's say due dates or important information, maybe just some reminders of certain text assignments and things like that, okay? So please always check your announcements, okay? And then for the rest of this video, we'll go ahead and briefly cover the syllabus. So let's go ahead and click on the syllabus, okay? Alright, so this is the video that you'll probably be clicking on. It'll be right here, okay? So, for example, when you go into the syllabus, you'll see that there's the core description that we already discussed, and then these are the learning objectives, okay? So this is what we would like for you to learn as you go throughout the course. Here's my information if needed, okay? We already discussed the required text, so we're good there. What you're probably more concerned about is, okay, how do I get a good grade, right? So the total points breakdown is right here, okay? So on your first week, you're going to do introduction activities, which is 7% of your grade, okay? So these include things, for example, I'll go ahead and show you really quick. Introductory activities right here. So these are the first things that you have to do in order to continue to the next module, and to also show me that you are willing to take the class. These tell me that you're actively participating the first day of class. Okay, so you can do a syllabus quiz, which is basically a quiz about the syllabus. You're going to answer some questions. Okay, there's an avatar activity, which is basically you're introducing yourself to the class and posting an avatar or picture. And then we have a workspace activity, so then you're going to show me and your student mates your workspace. Where do you study? Where do you write your papers, etc., etc. And then a reflection of what you would like to learn in this class. Okay, so this is the introduction materials, and those are 7% of your grade. So going back to the syllabus, okay, the next thing that is adding up into your grade is text assignments. Okay, so text assignments are about 17% of your grade. So if we go down here to text assignments, they're 10 points each. So every chapter that we discuss is going to have a text assignment. So basically what that is, it's kind of like a reading activity. Okay, so once you do your reading, you're going to answer some questions. Okay, so the good thing about these text assignments is that they're built with the exam. So if you do your text assignments, it's kind of like a mini study guide towards studying for the exam for that module. Okay, so the requirements for the text assignment is obviously to answer the questions. Please make sure that when you answer the questions, they're in red font, because I will be grading those text assignments and it's just easier to see your answers in red. Make sure it's Times New Roman 12 and 1.5 spacing and 1 inch margins. Okay, and you're going to submit that into Canvas under the text assignment for that particular chapter. Okay, the easier way to do it is just the file upload button and go ahead and submit your Word document. Late submissions may not be accepted. Okay, so you're more than welcome to go throughout the course in advance. So if you want to get a little bit of ahead, you can do that as well. So make sure you're following the due dates in Canvas. Trying to think of anything else with these text assignments. Nope, I think that's good. So the next thing is part of your grade, going back to the little pie charts, learning activities. So learning activities are also 17% of your grade, so you can go ahead and see this. So the learning activities are built to enhance upon your reading and your understanding of the material for that particular chapter. So it's asking you to think out kind of outside the box using creative thinking skills or critical thinking skills. And basically this is kind of your learning activities are like discussion posts, so how you're going to interact with me and also other students in the class. So learning activity is going to be a discussion over something in the chapter, and you're going to also reply to your classmates in order to create an interactive environment. Okay, so we have one for each chapter as well. Next thing is exams. So after you're done with your text assignment and your learning activity for that particular module, you will do an exam. Okay, so this exam that we're talking about here are typically multiple choice, true or false, fill in the blank. Sometimes there's essay questions, but in most cases they're multiple choice. Okay, and they're obviously online in Canvas. These are the modules breakdown, so what we're going to be covering each week. Okay. No makeup or late exams will be offered unless other arrangements have been made, so please make sure to always communicate with me if something comes up. Okay. And if for some reason you do need, extra credit, please email me about that as well. So as far as communication, the best way to communicate with me is through the Canvas inbox. I get that more directly than using the Outlook. Okay, so go ahead and message me here in the Canvas inbox about a question or something that is concerning you. Okay, so going back to this pie chart, we talked about text assignments, learning activities, the exams. So the exams are after every module, which every module covers about one or more chapters, and that's 45% of your grade. Then finally at the end, you'll have a final exam, okay, which is in module 8 or the last module, and that's 13% of your grade. So going back down here, you can look final exam. A comprehensive final exam will be conducted at the end of the semester to evaluate overall understanding in the course. So it's about 100 points, and it'll cover all of the topics that we've discussed thus far in the course. Okay, and then you also do a final reflection about the course and what you've learned. It's very short, it's kind of a reflective essay, very, very simple to do, and that's 1% of your grade. So here's the points breakdown. You should be familiar with the grading criteria. Go ahead and take a look at that. And there's that. Okay, so let's go back to the modules page. Okay, so these are the first things that you're going to see on the first day. So we discussed these already. Okay, if you just want to see an example of a text assignment, let's go ahead and do that. Click on it. Okay, so here's a text assignment for chapter 1. So you're going to go ahead and answer these questions, and remember your answers are going to be in red font. Okay, so download this on your computer, start typing on it, and then you're going to submit your assignment here. Okay. Another thing I just want to briefly show you is learning activity. So maybe some of you haven't understood what a learning activity is. Like I said, it's kind of like a discussion post, and it's based on that particular topic for the week or the module. So you'll see the learning objectives here. So for this activity, you're going to, read your materials, and you're going to choose a historical figure from that chapter. So someone obviously in psychology, and look at their theory and what they did for the psychological field. And then you're going to explain why this person's your favorite and how it relates to your personal life or experiences. So this one's very, very simple. So the example here is Erik Erikson. And he's actually a proponent in developmental psychology. So he actually looks at development across the lifespan, so starting at early infancy all the way into late adulthood. One of the reasons I like that is because he looks at the lifespan. A lot of other theorists are very specific, which is great, and they only cover maybe a segment of life, maybe early childhood or teenage years. But I like that he kind of has a more full approach, and he's looking at psychosocial development. And according to him, in each stage of psychosocial development, you're going to have a conflict that occurs. Okay? And each stage goes by each stage in life. So you have infancy, toddlerhood, early childhood, middle childhood, adolescence, early adulthood, middle adulthood, and late adulthood. So, for example, this trust versus mistrust, the crisis or the conflict in this particular stage is going between these two. So, in infancy, according to him, the major thing that's being learned socially from an infant is trust from their caregiver or mistrust. And that can happen in how the parent interacts with the child, right? So if a parent is neglecting or not attending to the infant's needs, well, it's very likely that that infant's going to develop mistrust, like, oh, this person doesn't care for me, or I can't count on this person, right? But if you attend to the needs of the child, then they're going to develop a trusting relationship. So they're going to know that that person is there for them. They're going to feel a secure attachment, etc., etc. So you're going to have a conflict between two things as you go throughout each stage in life, according to him. And that's just a very simple way to put it. But yeah, that's also one of my favorite theories as well. Okay. So this is just a learning activity, like I said. So you're going to go ahead and do the same thing I did here, kind of overview the theory, overview the historical figure, and then, talk about why is it important to you? Why did you think this person is your favorite and how it applies to your life? Okay. And then you're going to also post a resource. So that's a scholarly resource. So where'd you get the information from? Obviously, if you want to, you can cite your book. That's perfectly fine. Or if you find another online resource, you could also cite that. Stay away from sites that are not edu or .org. Look at reputable sites. So don't use Wikipedia or things that are not scholarly. Okay. So once you post, you're going to come back in a couple days, or you can do it the same day if you want to, if other people have posted, and you're going to post a reply. So make sure that your replies are substantial in a sense that you're not just saying, hey, that's cool. You're actually adding to the discussion by maybe asking a relevant question or even talking about your own experience, and that will enhance the discussion. Okay. So let's go ahead and go back to modules here. Okay, so that's just an example of a text assignment learning activity. So you're going to have one of those for each chapter. And then once you're done with the chapter, like I said, you're going to go ahead and take the Module 1 exam. So the Module 1 exam is going to be over chapters 1 and 2. Okay. Other than that, hopefully you found this informational. I look forward to seeing you guys in the discussion.